Maine Democrats have their nominee for one of the most closely watched Senate races in the country. Delegates at the state convention in Bangor chose former state Senate President Troy Jackson, a fifth-generation logger from Allagash, to take on 30-year Republican incumbent Susan Collins. The vote was decisive, 566 to 5, after the previous frontrunner withdrew from the race earlier this month amid sexual assault allegations. That collapse compressed the general election campaign into a 101-day sprint, and both parties see this race as potentially decisive for control of the U.S. Senate. Jackson comes from the small northern Maine town of Allagash, population roughly 240. He is a fifth-generation logger who served as state Senate president from 2018 to 2024. He calls himself a pickup progressive, a working-class ally of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. His nomination represents a sharp contrast with the incumbent, Susan Collins, the well-funded Republican who chairs the powerful Appropriations Committee in Washington. In his acceptance speech, Jackson called for building what he described as the largest working-class movement Maine has ever seen. It is a populist appeal aimed directly at the economic anxieties of rural voters, a demographic that has drifted toward Republicans in recent cycles, but one Jackson believes he can win back. The fundraising numbers tell a stark story. Jackson has raised over $1 million, Susan Collins has raised $16 million, a 16-to-1 gap that underscores the financial machine behind the incumbent. Jackson will need to close that gap quickly if he hopes to compete on airwaves across the state. Jackson's message is aimed squarely at working families and rural communities, betting that a populist economic platform can overcome the institutional advantages of a 30-year incumbent. The general election is now 101 days away. Control of the Senate could hinge on this race, and with a pickup progressive carrying the Democratic banner, Maine voters face one of the clearest ideological choices in the country this November.